All right, welcome back everybody. Crypto Rolly here. Unfortunately, I cannot show my face in the bottom right corner. I've been going through quite a lot. That's why you haven't seen me in several days. It started with a sickness on Monday, and then on Wednesday, I broke my partial denture. Yes, I'm missing two front teeth. Still need to get some implants, and well, I tried going to the dentist on Thursday, and they denied me because I had a fever and was sneezing. So I got a COVID test yesterday, waiting on my results so I can go back to the dentist and get my two front teeth. So you might hear a lisp, but I didn't want to keep you guys hanging. We got to look at the weekly chart. We got a lot to look at. It's been quite some time, guys. So go ahead, hit that like for me, leave a comment, subscribe, tick the bell for notifications. I do live technical analysis, price predictions, and trading. Remember, these are my own ideas and opinions on the market, so please do your own research and trade at your own risk. All right. Also, just a quick note, guys, I don't have 1,000 subscribers, so I cannot update you, unfortunately, with a message to the subscribers. So help me get some more, and then I can start posting to let you guys know when I go MIA. So let's take a look at the market real quick. Bitcoin sideways, usual choppy action. In fact, it's been termed the kangaroo market. All right, I don't know why I'm talking like this. The volume under 1 billion. This is what we usually see on Saturdays. Sideways choppiness and pretty much sideways across the board. Crypto fear and greed index down to a 40. We are getting slightly fearful. Oh, and then the stock market fear and greed index at a 54, a little bit higher. I'm going to tie all this in together shortly. So let's look at the chart, okay? What do we see here? Right off the bat, I'm still looking at this same rising trend line. So, if you've been following here, we had this trend line already drawn out, and we only had 2 touches at the time that I had drawn that, and we can see we bounced and closed back above it. So we're still maintaining this support trend line, though we did wick a little below. We closed back above us, most importantly, and that was on the daily, so that's important. And also landed on that 9200 horizontal we've been drawing and showing for some time. You can see where 9200 was resistance, support, resistance. That lisp is kicking in. Resistance here. And you can see we bounced off of it here. And we're still putting in higher lows, looking quite like an ascending triangle formation. In fact, I think I still have it drawn on another chart, the Coinbase chart. Let's take a look real quick. There it is. So I wanted to point out that we're in this ascending triangle formation here, and this is quite the opposite of the descending triangle formation that we saw at the top of 2019. This was a bearish formation. About 70% of the time they break down. Well, we're in the opposite. So I haven't been feeling bearish. I've actually been pretty bullish, considering that we didn't get a swift rejection from this area. I've had this rejection box drawn out using the previous price action. You can see where price respected it, was rejected there. That's a 10.5K level. And then you had that support level there around 9.4. And you can see that price was governed there as well. So we're in that resistance area. We broke back into it there. So we knew we were going to have some trouble here. But unlike, this right here was a blow off top. You can see that there was a large impulse blow off top there and then rejected down. Here, this was a China pump, rejected immediately. This right here is a little different because we were pretty bullish, and the pandemic kicked in and we dropped, okay? But this right here is the opposite of a market bubble. This is a market panic. This is opposite. So this was over exuberant dump in fear, and then we bounced right back, recovering the entire loss from the major sell-off there. So I thought, you know, all of this adding up looked bullish to me. Now, the issue is the stock market. The stock market has been falling in the last 2 days due to fear in the America about wave 2. So the wave 2 fear apparently is kicking in, even though I think we were already prepared for something like that. And you can see that the stock market dropped. Well, if we go, let me go over to, let's go over to the futures, SPX futures here. This isn't exactly the, you know, says 4X, but this is going to be closer to the 24/7, or not the 24/7, but every day except for Saturday, okay? And it's going to be 24 hours throughout the week, unlike the SPX, which is only open from 9:30 to 4 p.m. Okay, so we had this sell-off here and a little bit of a bounce. Let's go over to Bitcoin and see what happened at the same time. So Bitcoin, you know, I felt like we weren't moving with the stock market anymore, but you can see this dump here lines up exactly with that dump here, even the little bit of a bounce, okay? Same thing happened here. So we can see that Bitcoin is moving hand in hand with the stock market once again. So if the stock market is going to dump farther, we're going to have to be careful in Bitcoin. If the stock market wasn't moving the Bitcoin price, I would still be a lot more bullish. But considering how closely they are moving again together, I have to be aware of that. And if we lose this trend line and we lose that horizontal and then we form a lower low, well, guys, it might be some trouble, or it might be a long year. But until all that happens, we're still putting in higher lows. So it's a little bit of a game watching the stock market and watching Bitcoin simultaneously. What I can say is, if you look at the daily on the stock market, you can see here your RSI was overbought. Your stochastics had been high. Both my fast moving and my slow moving stokes were high and just riding up here for quite some time. I mean, we were putting in multiple days of just, you know, upward price action. We were due for a pullback. We were due. This was a bit sharper of a pullback than I was expecting. This looks a bit more like something like that. So we do need to be careful, okay? So tomorrow, you know, CME Bitcoin futures open, but also, you know, CME stock futures also open. So I'm looking to see what happens tomorrow to gauge where we're going with Bitcoin next week. So I hope all that makes sense. Let's go ahead and do a breakdown, you know, looking at the indicators. So go ahead, hit that like one more time if you haven't. All right, so let's take a look at our moving averages. So we're getting the weekly candle close tomorrow, and we are still above all major moving averages. We've been talking about this quite some time as well. We have the blue 10 simple, got that bullish cross above the yellow 21 EMA there, and quite potentially could get across above the 50. This is the 50 simple, this dark blue 50 simple could cross above that one. That would be another bullish cross in the right direction, where your lower time frame moving averages move above your higher time frame moving averages. So once again, only looking at the Bitcoin chart, I feel good about the price, but I am concerned. So what can I say about these moving averages? Well, if we do have a harsh sell-off, we have the 200 EMA down here at 61.50, and your pink 200 simple has moved all the way up to 6,000 right now. 6,000 was that level that 2018 was held up by the entire time. I don't see the price going below this level. Okay, so we'll have to monitor that. And another thing I'd like to say is the yellow 21 EMA has moved up to 84.67. Typically above the yellow 21 EMA on the weekly is a bull market, below a bear market. So above 84.67, we're still doing all right. Okay, so that's the moving averages. Let's take a look at our Ichimoku clouds. Ichimoku cloud, we did close inside the cloud, and then this candle here came down and bounced off the bottom of the cloud. So now we're floating in the cloud with the bottom support level. Your upper resistance, if we do get that breakout, is coming in at 11,300, which would put in a new higher high. Okay, all right, so that's what we're looking at there. You have a support level here at 88.65, and if you lose that level here, this blue conversion line is down at 71.75. So I was talking about 6K. Well, if we don't get down to 6K, possibly 71.75 might be a region. You can see how it acted as nice resistance there and finally broke above. So you could flip that, resistance, flip support, just a possibility. But you can see how price has respected this in previous price action. You can see all the way along there, rejected here, found support, then broke down hard, rejected. So you can see that it does play out. All right. Let's take a look at the stochastics. I'm having fun today, guys. The world is crazy, and you know what? I just had to turn off the TV and get back to the charts. Looking at the fast-moving Stoch still coming down. Your slow-moving Stoch, a little bit of a hint. We're going to have to see what happens when the weekly closes tomorrow, what this is looking like. So we've been monitoring this, getting high up there. So are we due for a pullback on the weekly? It's possible. Okay. And your RSI still hasn't broken above this peak here. That will be another confirmation in this trend if you are able to break that. Otherwise, slightly beneath it and looking at slightly lower lows. You can see it here, slightly lower low and a slightly lower low. So we need to break that trend, break above. All right. Let's take a look down at the daily. On the daily, our fast-moving Stoch is hinting at a cross up and will be confirmed, I believe, on tomorrow's candle. So this could, turn back this way if we get a dump before tomorrow. Otherwise, this will confirm a cross up. So, we could make another stab at it, but we're watching the stock market, and your slow-moving Stoch is still coming down. So for me, right here, considering what's happening in the world with coronavirus, I'd like to see this daily Stoch cross back up for more confirmation. Okay, looking at the moving averages. Let's look at the moving averages. We are getting rejected currently by the yellow 21 EMA around 95.11. You do have support here. Blue 50 simple 92.60. Orange 50 EMA 91.19. So I would maybe we squeeze between this level. This could turn into a bear flag potentially if you come down here, flag around in there, and then dump harder, breaking that uptrend that we were looking at as well. If we can close above 95.11 and 9600, back above all daily moving averages, maybe we make that attempt higher. Okay, and while I'm looking at the daily, let's go back to those horizontals real quick. 9800 was a level of interest. You could see we were rejected here, like we couldn't get the actual candle body to close, wicked, but then close the candle body beneath it, and we spent days trying to break above, finally broke above, and the stock market ruined everything for us. So 9800, got to get back above it. This dashed line here is 10K. we were rejected here, but this is more of a psychological number, but you can see rejected there as well. So these are going to be your resistance levels, and then of course that 10.5 that is on everyone's radar. We have been coiled up here, so I believe we will see a massive breakout when we do get that breakout. So be prepared for either direction. Okay, that's enough for that. Let me go over to possibly, let's see, the Ichimoku clouds. Let's look at Ichimoku, see what we're looking at. So we dropped beneath the blue conversion line, which is holding support above it, dropped beneath it, and now rejecting. That's a classic support flipped resistance. So until that daily closes back above 95.60, you're still underneath resistance there. You do have a nice support cloud here if we do fall. Your red baseline 84.50, and then this is climbing. So if we do fall, we could find some support here. That will be something to watch for moving forward. While it's on my mind, I kind of forgot to do this already. Let's look at the CME real quick. Where did we close the CME on Friday? Where are you, CME? CME. Okay, the CME closed on this candle here, 94.65, and price rose a little bit, well, 94.47. There is a bit of a discrepancy between CME price and like Bitstamp or Coinbase price. I wasn't paying attention when it actually closed, so I don't know how big of a difference there is. It's usually anywhere between 50 to $100 difference, so we'll have to see. It doesn't look like there'll be a massive gap. It's probably going to open up somewhere near. Now, if we do rise higher, you will have a gap beneath, that's for sure. If we happen to fall, you'll have the gap beneath. But if we drop out of here before CME opens and you lose that level there, that could be a runaway gap that doesn't get filled for some time, sort of like the one that happened here. Okay, we did fill that gap eventually, but it took some time because the momentum was just too strong. You can see that there. Looking at the CME, I had this trend line drawn out and we did drop beneath it. So that's of concern as well. That is of concern. You might make another retest up here, support, flip resistance, and then drop. That is a possibility as well. You can see that happened back here. Once you lost that support, you can see it a lot clearer on the 4-hour. Let me slide on over. You can see this here. We lost that rising trend line, dropped beneath, rejected there, and fell. All right, so we don't want to see that happen, but it's definitely a possibility. All right, going back to Bitcoin, we can finish up looking at the 12-hour and the 4-hour. So the 12-hour, where are you? 12. All right, 12, 12, 12. Okay, guys, there we go. Moving to the moving averages. Moving to the moving averages. All right, so we bounced off the support. Red 100 EMA, 9100, bounced off of it perfectly. Getting rejected by this 50 EMA, 50 simple. They're kind of tied there together. Coming in around 94.50, 94.70. So we drop beneath it. Now we're at resistance, and you have these moving averages coming down as well. So that's your other resistance level, we could say, is 95.76 there. Our stochastics, your fast moving stoke did cross up, coinciding with this bounce, but your slow moving stoke still coming down. So you got that bounce, which gave you that cross there, but if you get rejected, this could cross back down and this continues down. So we're watching for that. Let's look at the Ichimoku real quick. Ichimoku, 12 hours sitting on support. Interesting to see. Bounced exactly off of it. So someone was talking about the settings on Ichimoku. If you have a setting that works for you, by all means use it. However, I have just shown on the weekly, the daily, and now the 12-hour price respecting it Exactly, and look at that bounce there as well, okay? And you are seeing that resistance level at 95.45, so you need to break above that. So we're kind of in this range between 95.45 and the downside 91.50 in here, okay? Let's go to the 4-hour. Let's go to the 4-hour. 4-hour Ichimoku under the cloud, so we broke beneath the cloud. You're going to need to break above that. At risk of putting in a red cloud there, possibly. We'll have to see. Let's see. What else? Well, let me see real quick on the 4-hour. Did we get a bearish cross? Yes, barely. You can see that blue. It might be hard to see. The blue has come down as the red is still going horizontal. That would be a bear. Well, they actually tied together. So the bearish cross happened. It's interesting to see. Okay, so I'm sorry. This was a bullish cross, the blue over the red. That's a conversion line over the baseline. That was a bullish cross, and you got the follow through. And then you can see here all these squigglies. You got the bearish cross there. Almost got a bullish cross, but didn't. Almost got, and then they're like hand in hand there. And then, so we're still in the bearish. Still bearish on that indicator on the 4-hour. Okay, let's see. Moving averages, we are above the 200 EMA and riding along the pink 200 simple. Your yellow 21 EMA now coming down as resistance at 9,500. Your 200 EMA support, we bounced off that region around 9,300, pretty much going sideways. Potentially could get rejected here if we continue sideways till tomorrow and the futures open up dumping. This would look like a bear flag, and let's just go ahead and draw maybe a bear flag target. So we're going to draw this little pole here. We're going to just take it somewhere like that, and we're looking at around 8,800. 8,800 would still be above that level there, wouldn't break the higher low trajectory, but there could be a lot of momentum there, so I would be afraid of that. It might not end right there, but you know what, guys, I don't always, I do look at diagonals. They are important, but what's going to be more important is probably going to be a horizontal level there of support. So you'll have to break that level there at 8,700 more exactly, okay? All right. So you guys, I know I say a lot of different numbers, but this is just basically to help you, if you're looking at your indicator, see what I'm looking at your levels of resistance, looking at your levels of support. And then, let's look at our oscillators. Your stochastic is up on the 4-hour and up as well on the fast moving stoch. And we did put in a 4-hour candle, green candle here. We'll have to see how this next 4-hour candle closes. Can it break that resistance level and maybe make an attempt back to 9,800? We'll keep an eye on it. I don't trust weekend price action, so I'm not too gung-ho to jump into this right now. And you can see a series of, green, red, green, whatever. Okay. All right. So that's going to be it for you guys. It's been 23 minutes. It's been good to be back. Like I said, my apologies. I've been gone. It's just been a weird week for me. I don't know exactly what day I can get those teeth back. So I'm going to be doing these videos without my face in the corner. It's all good. So guys, I will see you hopefully soon. Hopefully we don't have a huge panic sell in the stock market leading to a dump in Bitcoin. If we do, just be prepared, protect your capital. You can do this by putting shorts on or moving into stable coins. My preference is using margin exchanges. I have a referral down at the bottom for PHEMEX. I like it because you can also trade Tezos, Link, Ethereum on leverage. Okay, guys. Also, I do have a Discord group for free down in the description as well. So if you don't see me on YouTube, you can find me down in Discord. And that's going to be it, guys. Roll.